The Emerald Tablet, also known as the Smaragdine Table or Tabula Smaragdina, is a brief yet enigmatic text from Hermetic philosophy. It was a cornerstone for both Islamic and European alchemists, often associated with the legendary figure Hermes Trismegistus. While attributed to him, the earliest recorded versions of the text appeared in Arabic sources from the late 8th or early 9th centuries. During the 12th and 13th centuries, it was translated into Latin multiple times, sparking numerous interpretations and commentaries. In medieval and early modern alchemy, the Emerald Tablet was closely linked with the pursuit of the philosopher's stone and the creation of gold through alchemical processes. Its influence extended into the 19th and 20th centuries, where occultists and esoteric thinkers found inspiration in its teachings. The phrase, "as above, so below," a paraphrase of one of the tablet's verses, became a popular motto among these groups. The tablet speaks in mystical terms about the unity of the heavens and the earth, describing how everything comes from a single source and how forces from above and below are intertwined. It also touches on alchemical processes, using symbolic language to discuss the transformation of elements and the creation of perfection. Its verses convey the idea that by understanding and mastering these forces, one can unlock the secrets of the universe and achieve enlightenment or transformation. The text concludes with Hermes Trismegistus claiming his role as the one who holds the wisdom of the world's threefold philosophy, ending his explanation of the sun's operation, which is at the heart of the alchemical process. Beginning in the 2nd century BC, texts attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a fusion of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, began to emerge in Greco-Roman Egypt. These writings, known collectively as the Hermetica, are a diverse group of works that modern scholars generally categorize into two main types: technical Hermetica, which includes astrological, medical, botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and religio-philosophical Hermetica, focused on mystical and philosophical topics. Before the rise of Islam in the 7th century, these Greek pseudepigraphal texts were translated and adapted into various languages, including Latin, Syriac, Coptic, Armenian, and Middle Persian. When the Arabic-speaking empires emerged, scholars within these cultures received and translated these Hermetic texts, further expanding upon them and even creating new works of their own. Until the early 20th century, only Latin versions of the Emerald Tablet were known, with the earliest copies dating back to the 12th century. It was thanks to the work of two scholars, E.J. Holmyard and Julius Ruska, that the first Arabic versions were rediscovered. In one significant Hermetic work, the Book of the Secret of Creation, an introduction explains that all things in the universe are composed of 4 elemental qualities: heat, cold, moisture, and dryness, derived from Aristotle's philosophy. These qualities and their combinations govern the sympathy and antipathy between beings. The story also tells of a figure named Belinus, a master of talismans, who finds the Emerald Tablet in the hands of an ancient figure inside a crypt beneath a statue of Hermes Trismegistus. The core of the book is an alchemical treatise that introduces the medieval alchemical theory that all metals originate from sulfur and mercury. The Emerald Tablet itself appears at the end of the work as an appendix, sparking debates about whether it was originally meant to stand alone as a cosmological text or was always an integral part of the alchemical work. Some modern scholars suggest that the Emerald Tablet may actually be a work of talismanic magic, with confusion about its meaning arising from mistranslations between Arabic and Latin. Emerald is the gemstone traditionally linked to Hermes, while mercury is the metal associated with him. Similarly, Mars is tied to red stones and iron, and Saturn to black stones and lead. In ancient times, both the Greeks and Egyptians referred to various green minerals, such as green jasper and green granite, as emerald. By the Middle Ages, the term also applied to colored glass objects like the Emerald Tablet of the Visigothic kings or the Sacro Catino of Genoa, a green dish taken by crusaders during the sack of Caesarea in 1011. The dish was believed to have been a gift from the Queen of Sheba to King Solomon and was thought to have been used at the Last Supper. One version of the Emerald Tablet appears in the Kitab Ustukus al-Us al-Thani, elementary book of the Foundation, attributed to the 8th century alchemist Jabir ibn Hayyan, known in Europe as Geber. Another version is found in the Secretum Secretorum, Secret of Secrets, a 10th century eclectic text that presents itself as a letter from Aristotle to Alexander the Great during his conquest of Persia. This text covers various topics, including politics, alchemy, astrology, and medicine, and is also attributed to Hermes, though it doesn't describe the discovery of the tablet. The motif of uncovering the hidden wisdom of Hermes appears in other Arabic works from around the 10th century. For example, in the Book of Crates, a Greek philosopher named Crates has a vision while praying in the temple of Serapis, where he sees an old man seated in white garments, holding a tablet and book. He learns that this man is Hermes Trismegistus, and the book contains explanations of the secrets Hermes hid from humanity. A similar narrative appears in the Latin text Tabula Chemica by Senior Zadith, the Latinized name of the alchemist Ibn Umayl, where Hermes sits with a stone tablet inscribed not with words, but hieroglyphic symbols in a hidden chamber inside a pyramid. The Book of the Secret of Creation was translated into Latin as Liber de Secretis Naturae between 1145 and 1151 by Hugo of Santalla, though it did not gain widespread circulation. The Secret of Secrets, Secretum Secretorum, was first translated into Latin by John of Seville around 1140 in a short medical excerpt of 188 lines. A more complete Latin translation followed about a century later, prepared by Philip of Tripoli. This full version became one of the most popular books during the Latin Middle Ages. Another Latin version appears in an alchemical treatise known as the Liber Hermetis de Alchemia, Book of Alchemy of Hermes, which likely dates back to the 12th century, though no manuscripts exist before the 13th or 14th centuries. This widespread version, referred to as the Vulgate, contains a mistranslation where the Arabic word tilasm, meaning talisman, was inaccurately transcribed as telesmus or telesmum, leading to various interpretations of the term in later alchemical writings. In 1143, Hermann of Carinthia, one of the few European scholars of the 12th century to reference the Emerald Tablet, included the story of its discovery in his treatise De Essentiis. He mentions the tablet being found under a statue of Hermes in a cave, echoing a narrative from the Book of the Secret of Creation. Around the same time, Robert of Chester, a friend of Hermann, made the first Latin translation of an Arabic alchemical text, the Liber de Compositione Alchemiae, in 1144. A 12th century anonymous commentator tried to explain the term telesmus in the phrase "father of all telesms," equating it with "father of everything secret." This interpretation persisted in later commentaries on the Emerald Tablet, with the term telesmus eventually becoming synonymous with secret. Around 1275–1280, Roger Bacon translated and commented on the Secret of Secrets, interpreting the Emerald Tablet as an allegorical summary of the great work of alchemy. One of the most famous commentaries came from Hortulanus, an alchemist from the early 14th century who sought to clarify Hermes' words and explain the practice of true alchemical work. Hortulanus viewed the great work as an imitation of divine creation, with the sun and moon symbolizing alchemical gold and silver. He interpreted telesma as meaning secret or treasure, relating it to the final path of the philosopher's stone. By 1420, large excerpts of the Secret of Secrets were included in the illuminated text Aurora Consurgens, one of the earliest collections of alchemical symbols. One illustration from this work depicts the discovery of Hermes' table in a temple topped by Sagittarius eagles, symbolizing volatile elements. This image became a common motif in Renaissance prints, representing the rediscovery of ancient knowledge transmitted through hieroglyphic symbols, protecting it from misinterpretation. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.